What's going on, everybody? This is Andre, and this is another episode of Vape Capital Live, here with my lovely co-host, New Age Cleopatra.
Hello, everyone.
So, tonight we are going to continue on with speaking about advocacy, speaking about what's going on in the industry. I feel like we need to let the masses know exactly what's going on continuously, and give them the right information instead of people, posting propaganda-ish posts on their social media platforms and having wrong information and making their assumptions everybody's reality. We might as well bring in the people who can give us the right information and make sure that we are on the right track and in this fight for our industry. So I have brought in Mr. Doug Hughes and Pam Cube. And I've also got Pablo in from Switch Mods. People are probably like, why is Pablo there? He's not on Safada. Because I thought it was a good idea. We also have some other guests who are a little bit late. But also I thought it would be a great idea that you bring in a consumer's perspective in terms of what's going on in this industry. And, because it starts here, it goes to here, and then it goes out the door of a vape shop.
We're gonna convert Pablo tonight.
Yeah, we're gonna convert him.
The goals.
We're going to convert him.
We're gonna assimilate him.
So all right. So I want to start by saying that this past Sunday at Vape Capital headquarters was the Safada meeting, emergency Safada meeting, and because these meetings are at Vape Capital every month, I get to see the numbers of the people who attend these meetings. And, at first there was quite a few people. When I say quite a few people, there was, quite a full room. And then it slowly dwindled down from big numbers to, we're good. And they just stopped showing, or they're too busy, or whatever the case may be. There's 1,001 excuses for why people can't show up to support the industry that they're trying to make their careers. Now, this last Sunday, I have to say, was pretty intense. It was really intense, not only for the information that was being told to the group, but for the number of people who were here to listen to the message and listen to what's going on in this industry. We literally had, I want to say about 200 people here.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is that a safe assumption?
That's a safe number, yes.
So we had about 200 people. I mean, Vape Capital Studios is pretty damn big. Our main studio is pretty big, and we had full room of seats, standing room all the way across each side and across the back, and our roller door up, and people flooded into the back alley all the way around.
That's crazy.
It was a pretty intense sight. And I applaud everybody who came. But that was one meeting. And that was one gathering where we could all get more information. And I would hope that people would continue to come and be as supportive and as on point that they were this past Sunday. And there was a lot of information that was brought up last Sunday, Doug, and by the whole Safada team, and bringing us the information that we need. And I just want to continue that. So from Sunday, Doug, we did have a lot of people donate some money. We did have quite a few people donate some money.
Yep.
We didn't have enough people donate enough money. Correct. So there's always more that needs to be made. We need to raise, I believe it's 200, and refresh me?
280,000.
280,000, a little over $250,000 is what we need to raise for our lobbyists, for lawyers.
Lobbyists, PR, political contributions, lawyers.
Yeah. All the above. We need it. It's not, well, we might get there. No, we need this shit. It's not like, it's no ifs, ands, or buts. We need this money.
Yes.
And on Sunday, Safada, the number that was raised was around the teens.
15,000.
Okay, so
Which is not shabby.
It's not shabby. So in one night, Safada raised $15,000.
Yep.
Which is another applaud to everybody who came and donated money. And we definitely appreciate it through Safada, and we appreciate you coming to Vape Capital. But that's not enough.
No.
It's just not enough. So we
I
need to,
take checks.
yeah, right? Yeah, I was hoping that somebody was going to be up there with one of those squares on their phone and just taking credit cards, like, we got you, don't even trip, you don't even pay your bank later, we'll take care of you right now. But it was a pretty good turnout. And were you guys appreciative of the turnout that came for
Yes.
Sunday's meeting?
Very appreciative.
Yeah, I think that the fundraiser we had last year at Lucky Deuces, I think that the attendance was probably the same, probably a little more.
Yeah.
A few more people attended. What was profound about Sunday night was the breadth of and the diversity there was a lot of people I had never seen there before, which we kind of expected. But, last year it was everybody we knew. And everybody came there with an expectation that there was something on the table we were going to have to fight, and they were prepared to fight it. And we raised $120,000 that night. Now, this year it was different. The hammer already dropped, and everybody wanted to hear, how am I going to survive this? And I think that a lot of people feel defeated right now. I know personally, I have some level of that inside of me because, we've worked so hard to fight this stuff for so long. It's only natural to have that feeling. So I think that explains the 15,000 since then. Safada's gotten a ton of new members. We've eclipsed 1,000 members nationwide.
That's always good.
Which is a huge deal. As recently as this afternoon, I've got, major manufacturers offering contributions. So we're still collecting money. That was really just the launching point, was providing them the information and then, painting a path as to how we're going to fight this going forward. And, I think the resounding message we wanted to send was, this industry's not dead. It's not going to be dead for a while. We don't think it's going to be dead, period. Nothing is over. Nobody has to close up their shops. Nobody has to stop making mods. Nobody has to stop making liquid. At the worst case scenario, we're out of business in 2 years. And a lot can happen in that 2 years.
sure.
And a lot's already happening right now to prevent that. And
Just a quick question though, with the 2 year after, is that the 2 years after June 9th or August?
August 8th.
Okay, so 2 years after August 8th, there's a lot that can happen in those 2 years.
Yes.
We've already stated that on so many different levels. But is there any way after those, say, 2 years, that we could get extensions on anything that we need to, about our industry? Is it 2 years and fucking hang up your hat? I mean...
there's...
I know it's all like right now hearsay. We don't really for sure know, but I mean, is there any sights of possibility?
As it is right now, if nothing were to happen, if we weren't fighting this and we just laid down and we went, fuck it, it's 2 years. And small companies, basically companies that do less than $5 million in revenue a year and have less than like 150 employees, the FDA's actually made they put some things in the regs to give you a little more time to do your reporting and to put in your applications and that stuff. They're actually, they're kind of painting the illusion that we're catering to the small businesses. We understand that there's a lot of small business at stake here. So we're going to make some exceptions for them and give them some extensions, but ultimately they're not helping them pay for what they need to pay
Right.
for to be able to get their products approved through the FDA. So it's kind of a smoke and mirrors game. So I guess the short answer is if nothing changes, 2 years pretty much it. I mean, you're going to start seeing transition probably 18 months in because manufacturers are going to stop manufacturing. It's going to be a rush to get what's out there. The demand's going to go up. Prices are going to go up right leading up to that August 8th, 2018 date. So, but there's a lot of things that can happen in those 2 years.
100%. There's a lot of things, and also, I not to get off of California's troubles and turmoil. I have quite a few friends on the East Coast and Jersey in particular.
Fucking Jersey.
So
Yeah.
Sorry.
So
Pam,
I'm
sorry.
getting.
okay.
I've been getting phone calls, and I talked to my good friend Riz Ruler from 9 South Vapes this morning. Me and him had a good conversation.
I'm praying for him right now.
So he's got some really big lawyers doing some going through everything for him and figuring out really what's going on out there. But if people haven't heard or aren't privy to the information out in Jersey, e-liquid manufacturers are only going to be allowed to make tobacco, menthol, and clove flavored e-liquid. That's it. All flavors
Can't wait.
are banned. They're gone. All flavoring is gone. So unless you want a menthol, tobacco, or a clove, you are pretty much assed out. And for the people who have wanted so much to get away from tobacco and the tobacco tastes and the tobacco flavorings and ventured onto other things which powers that be may call advertising to kids or flavors for kids or making them want to be a part of vaping, pretty much killed all that. So is that, and I'm leading into that question with, is that something that can come over to California? And
Yes.
yes,
Yeah.
Yes.
100%, right?
Yeah, I mean, anytime anything happens in a state, and usually, like within the vapor industry, people look to two states. They look to California and New
New
York,
York.
because those are the two states that tend to be trendsetters. So if a law is passed in New York, California's always watching. If a law is passed in California, everybody's watching. So, New Jersey is basically the armpit of New York. So, it may as well be New York. And the sad part about the New Jersey bill is that it's really, to me, just kind of looking from the outside in and seeing what's been going on and seeing what happened at New Jersey Vape Expo. This is the same guy that came into the New Jersey Vape Expo and caused all that havoc and was issuing citations and made a public spectacle out of the thing. And to me, it's more about public, he's trying to, he's creating his own political agenda. He wants to, elevate his name within his party, within the state of New Jersey, higher aspirations. It's political grandstanding at its finest. You just had the FDA regulations drop. You've got more strict regulations being passed all over the country, and now you go well beyond that. And, he put in this bill. And, I don't want to sit here and say that this thing's going to get killed, this, that, and the other. I woke up this morning and I'm looking at some of the posts from yesterday in New Jersey, and all I could think about was those days that we went up to Sacramento. Like, they are embarking down the same path that we had to do with SB 140 and
sure.
the tobacco package. And Health Committee's the first one, and they did the same thing. They showed up with the big crowd. They had a big response, and it still went flying through that committee.
Yeah.
And now it's same thing that happened here. Now it goes to appropriations. And we had some, with SB 140, that's where the buck stopped when it got to appropriations. I'm sorry, no, general appropriations. So, that the next committee that it goes to is more of a business-oriented committee. Health Committee, you can't expect that not to pass. The Health Committee has one primary concern, and that's the health of the citizens of the
Public
state of
health.
New Jersey. Exactly. Appropriations isn't like that. They're looking at the fiscal impact it's going to have on the state economy. There's a lot of vape shops and manufacturers in New Jersey.
100%,
So
yeah.
I think it's probably got a very good possibility of being stopped at appropriations, but I wouldn't be willing to bet on it.
So I also heard some information too that so the state law, federal law, and correct me if I'm wrong, Doug, that state law cannot be more harsh than federal law.
No. It's actually the opposite. When you have a federal law, and you got to take it on a case-by-case basis, but if you want to really break it down to down to the bottom line, a state law cannot dilute a federal law. So if FDA says you have to be 18, the state of California can't say, no, we think 16. They can't do that.
Right. But can they make it say 21?
If a state law strengthens the existing statute, then technically, in most cases, state law has precedence.
Okay.
So for, the age to vape, the FDA said you have to be at least 18. Well, the state of California passed a law that says you have to be 21. That law takes precedence over
Because
federal.
it's not stepping on federal toes. basically.
It strengthens
It's
the
strengthening.
federal statute.
Got it.
So you can't challenge that.
Got it. Which is insane to me, and then you're raising the driving age and smoking age. Unless you want to go and fight for our country, then you can damn sure be 18 and go and kill yourself,
Right.
and fight for our country, and that's fine. Which blows my mind.
Go smoke a cigarette. and
Yeah,
fight
go
for
smoke a
it.
cigarette and then go grab your AR-15 and fight for us.
It's just a political fix.
That's all it is.
It's a political fix.
That's all it is.
Definitely.
What we're going to do is we're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll come back. We'll get more in depth into this. We'll get Pablo to convert and get some.
Assimilate.
Convert.
We'll bring him in. So let's take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back. Continuing with Advocacy Talk, Vape Capital Live.
Age Cleopatra. We're here at Valley Vape in Spring Valley for the 10th stop on the VC Women's Cloud Championship. We are here with Panda, who just won the Women's Cloud Comp. How are you feeling tonight?
Super stoked.
You did really well. Do you have any sponsors you'd like to thank?
Yeah, Lit Vape, Midnight Oil, Aloha Vapes, and Arsenal Wick and Wire.
What kind of build did you have?
21 gauge, 5 wrap, Arsenal Wick and Wire.
Congratulations. We'll see you at the finale.
Thank you.
New Age Cleopatra here at Valley Vape in Spring Valley on the 10th stop for the VC Trick Championship. We're here with Murray, who just won the Trick Comp. How are you feeling tonight?
Feeling pretty great.
You did really well. Do you have any sponsors you'd like to thank?
I want to thank the Rig Mod, Rig Reserve, Coup de Gras e-liquids, Nefology e-liquids, Majestic e-liquids, as well as Midnight Oil e-liquids, and Anarchist Manufacturing, Wick Sticks, and Squid Dude.
Well, congratulations. We'll see you at the finale.
I will see you guys there as well.
What's going on, everybody? Vape Capital Live. I am your host, Andre. Damn, tongue twister. I know my name. I
Andre.
swear to God, I do.
Hi,
I know.
Andre.
With my lovely co-host, New Age Cleopatra.
Hello.
So we're gonna dive back in this. There's a question that I've had that's been on my mind in terms of the tax. From my knowledge, the tobacco tax is what, $2.38, something along those lines. The new tobacco tax is supposed to be a couple dollars up.
They want to increase it by $2.
That's what I'm saying. It's $2.
Yeah.
It was like $2 and some change or something like
Yeah.
that. Okay, so what does that pertain to vaping and that tax that pertains to tobacco products, cigarettes, packs of cigarettes? How does that pertain to the vaping industry in terms of size of milliliter bottles?
The easy answer to that is I hope it doesn't.
Right.
Because
of course.
And yeah, I mean, they're going to have to vote on that. The faithful residents of California are going to have to vote on that initiative. And the last time they tried to do it, and I don't quite remember how many years ago it was, It got defeated by a very narrow margin. I happen to be in the camp that thinks because of the vaping issue, and people are starting to realize that vaping really is not as bad as smoking, and we're starting to get a lot more positive press out there. I actually think we have an opportunity to soundly defeat it this year because e-cigarettes are included in that bill. I think that they're going to find that if they
But it doesn't read like that, right?
No,
It just reads
it's
tobacco.
It
Tobacco.
doesn't just read tobacco,
Okay.
but it is not clear that it's e-cigarettes are included. The vapor products are included. There's like one little blurb in there, and we tried. A lot of our fight in Sacramento was getting that changed, and we had a lot of meetings about that, and they basically, told us to fly to coop. So, we challenged that aggressively, and it is what it is. So now it's basically up to us to just kind of educate everybody and say, look, if you vote for this particular initiative on Election Day, you're voting for a tax on vapor products. And now, how does that look? BOE is the one that determines
Right.
that, and they get guidance from other committees. And we've met with the other committees that have input on that. And they really had no idea what they were doing. And these people are very educated economists and, financial guys and very smart minds. And they didn't understand the industry. They didn't understand how our products work. And we sat down in a meeting with the LAO, which is the Legislative Analyst Office, who provides guidance to BOE on how to tax things. And I just simply looked next to me to an economist, and I said, did you take this into consideration, A, B, and C? And he goes, well, no. And I said, well, based on, there was a bill out there that was saying, it's the tax is going to be $2 per pack. It's going to be increased to, I think, $2 for tax. And the equivalent that they determined was that 1.5 milliliters of liquid equates to 1 pack of cigarettes. And there is absolutely no evidence or data out there that suggests that.
Right.
There's no correlation at this point. None that I've seen. And I looked at the guy and I said, well, that makes a $10 bottle of e-liquid $40. And I didn't have to explain the impact. He looked at me and went, well, I didn't realize that. So they understand that original framework was not going to work. But the BOE basically told us they're not even going to touch it until the initiative passes. So until they know that it's passed or not, they're not even going to listen.
Well, that's a good thing to know. I also tripped on that because I say it. My morning routine is wake up, turn on Fox 11 News, and I watch Good Day LA in the morning on Fox 11, right? And they had this little thing they were playing about the vaping industry, and I usually take those propaganda-ish, segments with a grain of salt. I don't really pay attention to them, but I watch them. I just want to hear what kind of BS people are putting out into the world. And I was watching this, and they asked a bunch of people about the tax, about for tobacco products, or how it would relate to the vaping industry. It's actually a really good little segment, but they're asking these people's opinion. How would you feel about when you go to the ballots and you're voting about raising the tax on tobacco products, but another couple of dollars? And so many people that they asked this question to were like, yeah, I'm for it because I'm a non-smoker. And you know what I mean? If I'm a non-smoker and these people have to pay more for cigarettes, maybe they'll quit smoking so I don't have to smell their shitty tobacco anymore, and maybe they'll live longer. And I was like, yeah, right on. That's cool for that opinion. You know what I mean? Your opinion is your opinion. Everyone's got one, right? But, the translation into the vaping industry for that tax, for that small of a milliliter of e-liquid is astronomical.
Yeah,
And,
it could be. It could be.
And another thing that I realized in terms of people's views on vaping is non-vapors, people who aren't in this industry, in this culture, in this lifestyle, they look at vaping as either the cigalike they've seen in the gas station or the people they see blowing big ass obnoxious clouds. That's what they see vaping as.
They see it as an obnoxious trend.
An obnoxious trend. They see either cigalikes in a gas station or people standing around blowing huge clouds, and they usually go, as they're walking
And we've
by.
propagated that perception. We have.
1,000%.
Yeah.
1,000%. And it's it goes much deeper than just, oh, we vape because we want to vape. No, we're trying to save our lives. You know,
The huge problem is that it's a sin tax. Like, you know, I owned a store and we paid sales tax every month. We paid probably close to, I don't know, 40 grand a year in sales tax. And to the state, for them to say, we want our cut of the pie, well, you know what? This industry wasn't here 6 years ago. This is a new industry. This is new revenue coming into your pockets. So the
Big time.
$40,000 a year I had to pay in sales tax.
and that's just one. That's just one shop.
That's your cut of the pie.
That's just one shop.
One
though.
shop.
And there's 2,000.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
2,000 shops
Exactly.
here. So come
Yeah.
on.
But they're trying to impose a sin tax as to say that what you're doing is wrong, and that is it's fundamentally I disagree with that, and that's what makes me the angriest. Like I get that the state needs to be able to collect money to be able to do the business of the state, you know. But what they don't understand is, one, it's a sin tax. Two, that by embracing this technology, you can actually save the state billions of dollars in healthcare costs that go towards smoking-related illnesses. And nobody wants to hear that. All
course
they
not.
see is a declining tobacco tax revenue because, you know, vapor is quickly eroding market share for combustible cigarettes, and they need to make up that gap.
Yep.
So what's the quickest way to make it up? You call this stuff tobacco and you tax it like tobacco.
Yeah. And also, you know, which comes with that, and you know, I have a couple of guys on the couch, Mel and Pablo. What's going on, guys?
How's it going, man? Hello.
So, you know, I brought these guys because, you know, one, they're in this lifestyle, they're in this industry, they're in this community. You guys are both sponsored team members from, you know, for a couple of different companies in this industry. And I kind of wanted to get your guys' perspective as consumers about, mainly, it intrigues me to know people's opinion on the fact that you won't have another sponsor. That no company is going to sponsor you. That's not even going to be a reality of people being, you know, paid to be sponsored by these companies to sport their swag and go out and represent them at conventions and cloud comps and yada, yada, yada. The list goes on. I mean, how does that affect you guys in terms of you being a part of this industry and a part of this organization of vaping?
For myself, I feel like God, I'm drawing a blank. Sorry.
That's fine.
I feel like
We're all friends here. It's okay.
for sure. I've met you guys plenty of times before.
Put it closer. You need it all the way to you.
I just feel like like you said, they've made it demonized. They, you know, my kids, they see what I do. They know that for them, it's what got dad away from cigarettes, and they're happy about that, you know. But as far as like losing sponsorships, I think people are under this understanding of, oh, I still have sponsors, I'll be good. These taxes and these prohibitions aren't going to affect me. And until everybody gets that in their mind that this is going to completely affect everybody.
No,
it's
100%. You will not have a sponsor. That's the bottom line.
becoming illegal to be sponsored.
That's not bullshit. Because if I'm a business owner, if I'm Doug, right, and you guys are on Doug's team for Team Chewy Clouds, all right, and there is no Team Chewy Clouds. I'm just using that for an example, all right.
Apparently there is now.
Can I be on it?
So you guys are on Team Chewy Clouds, and you know, Doug says, "Yo, man, you guys, I'm not sponsoring anybody because this is the law." Doug's not going to bite the bullet and pay the fines so you guys can say you're
Exactly.
sponsored by Chewy Clouds.
Yeah.
That's not going to happen. You know what I'm saying? So that pretty much that cuts down all these people's free juice. That cuts down all their traveling with their teams to all these different places, and you know, we've had youngsters on the youngsters. I call them youngsters because they're way younger than I am. But we've had guys on the show who. You know, their sponsors are flying them to Japan, and you know what I mean? They're flying them to Germany and the UK, and you know what I mean? Taking care of all these expenses for all of them to be able to go there and represent their team and their brand. And, you know, unfortunately, that's all going to be gone. And it intrigues me to hear the
Well-
consumer and the team members' point of views on that, because
I think that within people that have an idea of how juice is made and such, that people are getting this idea, well, I'll make my own and do a black market type juice. And I've heard, you know, people talking about that a lot. And I think that we're going to see the FDA coming after everybody for doing stuff like that. And until people get that idea in their head, nobody's going to, post about, HB 2058. Nobody is going to be calling their representatives, and if we can't get everybody, every last guy, not just sponsored people, but anybody who picks up an e-cigarette or a mod, we're just doomed right now.
That leads me to something else I wanted to ask you, Doug. So, all right, look at you have juice manufacturers who have these juices that are already made. They're already done. They're already bottled. They're already labeled. That's their juice line. That's in there. But they have 100 recipes that they've already mastered and have down.
Get them out by August 8th.
That's my point. So
Yeah.
with that being said, by getting all these flavors that they already have in their stockpile, right? Who's to say, obviously the BOE, right? But who's to say that they didn't, after August 8th, have all these flavors and not come out with?
I think that's a legal argument. I mean, ultimately, for your product to be considered on the market, it has to have been sold.
Right.
And you have to have a record of that sale. Now, what's the criteria? Do you have to have a certain level of sales to be considered on the market? I don't know.
Right.
But just we've
'Cause
got,
that goes with
we've got
ELQ
probably
too.
200 flavors in our library.
For sure.
You know?
Yeah.
So
Because that goes with ELQ too. Because I know that ELQ, you've had one of the biggest catalogs for a long time. You have
Yes.
a lot of juice flavors.
Yes,
And you guys take pride in that.
Yes.
And you have more stockpiled in the background.
Oh, yes.
Always.
definitely, always.
So, I mean, another question goes to you. Like, all these flavors that you have in the stockpile plus your catalog, are you coming out with all of these, or are you just rolling with what you have that's right now?
As the decision with management, we decided to go with what we have today.
Okay.
We have proof of it being in market, such as invoices, POS systems with our retailers, as each customer that came into their store actually rang up, whether if it's a credit card,
Yeah.
a receipt to back it up in market. That's if that's acceptable with BOE or anyone else down the line. So with that said, we're going to go with what we have today, what was released in the past. I know we do have some flavors that we plan on releasing, but that hasn't come out just yet. But we plan on doing something
Right.
before.
Just
the-
a little bit of new oomph.
Yeah, before the deadline. Yes, exactly.
And it's the sad part about that is it's actually going to damage the industry more than it's going to help it, because now you've got all these companies rushing to get multiple new flavors
Flooding.
out in the market.
Yes.
It's already
Flooding.
a saturated
It is, yeah.
market.
Yes.
It is going to kill the market.
See, and I look at it. I'm
Price
sorry.
wars.
Yeah, price wars.
It's going to be price wars.
I mean, we've
Already is.
already seen it with the
Yeah.
30 mil glass going to the 60 mil plastic, going to the 120 plastic. I mean, they're price cut, gashing and gouging all the way across.
Right.
What is that like? I think I just lost my train of thought. I was really on that one too. Damn it, Doug. It's all your fault.
It's always Doug's
price
fault.
gouging.
Got
It's always
No, you know,
Price gouging.
but I look at it like this: like all these companies who are already out here, right? So these juice manufacturers that have, XYZ juice, they have maybe 20 flavors in their catalog. They have all these flavors that they're coming out with, and then they flood the market or try to,
Right.
Because really, at this point in time, vape shops aren't picking up as much juice as they were before.
No.
Let's be brutally honest; they're
No.
not. And unless you're dealing with companies who are overseas in the UK and somewhere else, they're not really as flourished in California as we were 3 years ago. It's
Right.
not like shooting fish in a barrel anymore.
Right.
It's a lot harder to get your juice on a shelf.
Exactly.
So all these juice manufacturers are going into panic mode. They're making umpteen thousand flavors, and whenever they're done making these flavors, then they have to sit on them unless they can get them into stores and onto shelves.
Even worse than that is that the existing inventory that you have, like right now we're seeing evidence of e-liquid companies that are just dumping inventory at basically cost just to reclaim their investment. So, as a juice manufacturer right now, it is very difficult to do business. Very difficult.
And it's only going to get harder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you think this is some easy thing to do and you're just getting into this, stop.
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 It's
Just think
it's super
about it.
saturated. I mean, I don't have to tell you guys are juice manufacturers. This is no joke right now.
Right.
And it hasn't been a joke for a little while. So we're going to take another quick commercial break. We're going to come in with a couple new guests who have just arrived. We'll talk more about what's going on, more about their perspective, and we'll be back in a second. Stay
have
tuned.
some-
it's New Age Cleopatra. We have South Coast Vapor and Escondido on the 11th stop for the VC Women's Cloud Championship. We're here with Story, who just won the Women's Call Comp. How are you feeling about winning?
Pretty amazing.
You did really well tonight. Do you have any sponsors you'd like to thank?
Yes, I would like to thank Optimus Vapeworks, Shogun Wire, Wicked E-Juice, and the Ohm Troopers.
What kind of build did you have tonight?
I had a 21 gauge 6-wrap by Shogun.
Well, congratulations. We'll see you at the finale.
Thank you.
New Age Cleopatra. We have South Coast Vapor and Escondido on the 11th stop for the VC Trick Championship. We are here with the Omi Ben, who just won the Trick Comp. How are you feeling tonight?
Pretty good. Finally qualified.
You did really well tonight. Do you have any sponsors you'd like to thank?
TVL, Mech Mods, Liquid Effects, E-Juice. You guys are awesome. Boom Sap, E-Juice, and Native Wicks.
Well, congratulations. You are a finalist. We'll see you at the finale.
See you guys in Las Vegas.
What's going on, everybody? Andre, Vape Capital Live with my lovely co-host, New Age Cleopatra.
Hello.
So we have been joined by a couple more guests. We got the guys from Switch Mod in the house.
What's up? What's up? What's up?
Hi.
So we wanted to talk to you guys as well as we've been. You're a little late. You know, I understand LA traffic is a bitch.
I know.
But we got you guys here now. It's better late than ever. So we've been talking to Doug and Pam about a lot of the regulations, a lot of the rules, a lot of things are going to go into play with the new bill that was signed and everything going on with that. So
Yeah.
with that being said, you guys are a manufacturing company.
Right. Yeah.
And you guys make hardware. I mean, you guys are taking a hit too. It's not just juice makers. It's not just everybody in this industry. If you're in this industry, you're taking a hit regardless.
Yeah.
So, with that being said, what are you guys doing to really prepare and be around for a little while?
So if you don't mind, so we kind of predicted this was going to happen eventually. We did have lawyers in place early on in the situation, just trying to better inform us, because a lot of that stuff, what the 400 something pages that they
500
pages that they came up with. I tried to read that myself. Come on, you're not going to figure that out as just a individual that has no knowledge on the law and stuff like that. So we had lawyers look over it, and it's really just kind of being involved with the community and the shops, just trying to keep everybody together, trying to fight this and get us grandfathered in, and try to stay positive about the whole thing. But it's whatever's happening, it's kind of going to happen, and we could just kind of wish for the best at this point in time.
With that being said, though, Doug, sorry to cut you off, but with the manufacturing side, I mean, is it as stringent as?
Yes.
Okay. I don't even need to finish that question.
No, it's going to be.
I don't even need to finish that question.
All the way through for everybody.
And also, I was talking to some of the guys that you guys sponsor.
Yeah.
That were sitting on the couch here before you guys, and come that date, they are no longer Switch Mod.
Right.
They are no longer Team Switch Mod. They no longer represent your tobacco product. You know what I'm saying? So, like, what does that feel to you guys as business owners, manufacturers, and people that have, built your name on a competition style mod, and people who compete with it, and people you've had on your team? suck that you're going to have to be like, sorry about your luck. You got to go. What does that feel for you guys?
We were just talking about that on the way here.
Can you put your mic up a little bit?
We were just talking about that on the way here. It's like, it's just to the heart, man.
Just grab the net one next to you. Just grab his, man. Yeah,
I mean,
just turn that
always
one off and put it
trouble.
down. Just turn the other one off and put it down.
Trouble.
Yeah, I mean, we've, like you said, we've built such a close relationship with these guys, and it's like a family, and now just to be like, oh, you guys can't be a part of Switch anymore.
Gotta keep it
They're
close.
still going to be a part of us, they're still going to be a part of Switch. We're just keep fighting it and try and keep them close, keep it a family still,
Which is going to be really hard.
It's going to be hard.
I mean,
but-
we're not a juice manufacturing company. We're not a mod maker. We're not any of that. We are a media hub, and we have people who are sponsored per se by Vape Capital. And I've already sent out the call saying, when this happens, this is what's going to happen. I mean, it's now no love lost, but this is what's going on.
There's such a gray area in that law.
I feel like there's a gray area in all of this shit.
Well, some of it there is and some of it there isn't. But I've been thinking about this one for the last few days. And, there's ways around a lot of the things that are in there. Not that I would ever suggest that anybody takes, a back door but people are going to look for loopholes. And there's loopholes in a lot of it. With the sponsorship, you make them sales reps and they're wearing your stuff and they're going to competitions and that's part of their sales jobs. I mean, there's so many easy ways around that. With you guys, I mean, you're not technically a tobacco product, so I don't know how that would relate. But I think with the, obviously with the shows, that's where I think it's going to get sticky. Especially
with being able
the
to sponsor a cultural event.
Yeah, I mean, Safada's going to do an event in October. It's going to be a conference and a business-to-business expo. And that's the question, I'm involved in some of the planning of that, and that's really the question right now. How is this going to relate to sponsorships? I think as a trade association, in doing a trade event, there's a difference. It's not an open event to the public, so there's a difference. But anything that you have an open event to the public, where you're advertising it to the public, you're not going to see that anymore.
Do you think that it will be all B2B? All weekends for these cultural events that are coming out in the future?
What? My personal opinion, I don't know that this, we'll see what fruit this bears, but my personal opinion is, that, these deeming rules make it so difficult to do now a ECC type event with so many restrictions, no samples, limited, if any, sponsorship. I think that it's going to be very difficult to do that, and I think that you will see it go. First, you're going to see a significant consolidation of shows. There's not going to be 5 shows every weekend in every part of the, in every corner of the country. And I do think that you're going to see more traditional B2B trade shows that are going on. They're going to be far fewer. They're going to be well organized, and they're going to be, heavily controlled.
So this
that's my own opinion.
And I hear
we'll
you.
see
No,
if
and
that
I
comes.
I want your opinion, and I respect your opinion, Doug. But I'm asking like another level. Like so, we have VPX this weekend in Vegas. And is this law that's coming into play with the sponsoring cultural events? Is that going to only pertain to California events? Is that nationwide?
No, that's nationwide.
Really?
That's deeming.
So they can, through California, make that a deeming regulation?
No. That is what you have to understand about the deeming regs. A lot of California's laws about tobacco were derived from the Tobacco Control Act. So they were taken right from the federal standards. Again, you can't dilute it, but you can strengthen it. So the Tobacco Control Act that we talked about the other night was actually the Federal Tobacco Control Act.
Okay. There we go.
So it's
some clarification.
It's the same.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there's that.
And there's that.
And there's that.
And that's
So I mean, I'm gonna be honest, man. I think about this stuff, at the perfect opportune times, like when I'm going to sleep at 11 o'clock at night, and my mind just starts going about all the what ifs, and I try to come up with logical, reasonable answers for myself, just really so I can go to sleep at that moment in time. But it's mind-boggling to me, and I've been more probably stressed out just in this last week.
I think everybody has.
Yeah,
right?
everybody
There's
was.
been like this dark cloud over the industry right now, so everybody's a little bit stressed out. I've been visiting shops and just kind of grasping the feeling, and it's not the same. There's a lot of worried people out there, small business owners, and it sucks, because these shop owners, they have college kids working there, their bills, their livelihood, depend on that job.
Yeah.
They're gonna lose it.
Yeah.
So it's, we've kind of seen this happen before, like in the '90s, like petroleum companies killing the electric car and stuff like that. We knew it was bound to happen, and it just, the whole industry is, I feel like they're coming together. I feel like it should have happened a little sooner.
Way sooner.
Yeah.
Way sooner.
They didn't take it seriously.
You
almost,
are preaching to the choir.
Yeah,
brother.
way sooner.
They didn't
Way
take it
sooner.
seriously.
Way sooner. Let me go to these. I just want to kind of come over to the comment section. I just want to thank everybody who's watching us on Vape Capital YouTube right now, streaming in live. What do we got over there?
Well, JD did have a question for you, Doug. It was.
I'm sorry I didn't call you back, JD.
It was, how bad it is for people to say, and preach about, saying fuck the FDA.
We kind of went over that last week. I mean,
doesn't help.
Just be a grown-ass man or a grown woman and realize that that's not going to help to blast on social media, fuck the FDA. It's not going to help.
Not at all.
You're not doing
at
anything
all.
positive.
No.
Only thing you're really doing is getting people on your bandwagon of negativity. That's not going to help us do anything positive.
No.
And I truly believe that.
Piggybacking on what you were saying, I think right now a lot of people feel very defeated. It's like when you're boxing and you get that good right hook right in the kisser, man, and all of a sudden you see stars and you got that glazed look in your eye, and
Second
it takes
guessing.
you a minute to kind of shake it off.
Yeah.
And I think people have just a general sense of defeat.
Yeah.
And, we've been saying that this thing's coming, and even the people that have been fighting this, I felt the same way the day they dropped them. And I think that right now, there is a cloud. And I think people are in this cloud, in this kind of, they got that blank glaze about them. And I think it's going to take a couple of weeks, but I do, and I hope for everybody's sake that people are able to shake it off and kind of get a grasp as to what's going on and go, okay, we can move forward. I mean, there's so much we have going right now to try to combat a lot of this. Regardless of what happens in the next 2 years, this industry is going to change. And one of the things that we were trying to really harp on at the meeting Sunday night was you are going to have to adjust your business model. There is going to be consolidation in this industry. There is going to be a maturation process in this industry. And it's kind of a natural evolution of business. That's how I look at it. Now, having to issue overbearing regs to get that, I mean, that wasn't the purpose. But ultimately, even if they pushed a grandfather date, up to August 8th, that still means innovation is going to be somewhat stifled, and there is going to, people are going to fall off the edge of the cliff.
So what if they don't push this grandfather date to August 8, 2016, and we got Switch Mods right here that has a shitload already in production and made, and they're not even allowed to sell one fucking unit? Are they out of their trunk?
There's going to be a lot of new flashlight brands on the market in the United States.
Yes.
Yeah, you're damn right.
paperweights.
Switch flashlights.
Switch flashlights. Yeah.
And you'll probably make more money selling those.
LED not included.
Yeah.
All right, so real quick, we're going to take another commercial break. We'll be back. We have about 10, 12 minutes left in the show. We're going to talk a little bit more with Switch Mods. We're going to bring Pablo back in because I want to talk to him a little bit about something off of advocacy because he did qualify for Vape Capital Cloud Championship Tour. Kind of want to talk to him about his mindset on that and talk about actually cloud comps that are going to be coming up and what's really going to happen. So just stay tuned. We'll be back quickly and we'll get back to this.
Hey guys, it's New Age Cleopatra. We're here at Valley Vape in Spring Valley on the 10th stop for the VC Men's Cloud Championship. We're here with Dalton, who just won the Men's Cloud Comp. How are you feeling tonight?
I'm feeling pretty good. Still contemplating it and getting used to this.
Do you have any sponsors you'd like to thank?
Yes, I would like to thank RigMod, Hot Wires, Ohm Troopers, Lit, Coup de Grace, Rig Reserve, Lust Vapor Company, Home Run Hitters too. They're a great company. You guys should go check them out.
Well, you did really well tonight. We'll see you at the finale.
Welcome to San Antonio VidCon.
Hey guys, it's New Age Cleopatra here at South Coast Vapor in Escondido on the 11th stop for the VC Men's Cloud Championship. We are here with Adrian, who just won the Men's Cloud Comp. How do you feel tonight?
Pretty fucking stoked. That's for damn sure.
You did really well. Do you have any sponsors you'd like to thank?
Oh yeah, New Breed Vapes, Wick Juice, Cloudburst Vaping Company, and F5 Cotton.
What kind of build did you have tonight?
I had a 2120 from Hot Wires over 3.5 millimeter.
Well, congratulations. We'll see you at the finale.
Yeah, see you there.
What's going on, everybody? This is Andre, Vape Capital Live, with my lovely co-host, New Age Cleopatra.
Hello.
So we're coming into the end of our show, last part of our segment. And,
Sad. It's
and
over
I just
so
want to say
soon.
thank you to everybody who was watching us live streaming Vape Capital Live and the guests we had. But I wanted to talk to Pablo a little bit. Pablo, like you qualified for Vape Capital Cloud Championship on behalf of Switch and Black.
Whoop, whoop.
Congratulations to that.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations.
And to everybody out there in YouTube land, know that Vape Capital will be in Vegas instead of California for our finale.
Yeah.
So
Smart move.
So basically, the way it's going down is this. Everybody who has qualified thus far before June 9th that is under the age of 21 will be able to compete at our finale in Vegas. If you are under 21 and if you have not qualified by June 9th in California for any of our California stops, you're screwed. You cannot compete for us.
Yeah.
And that's just the way it's going to be. We're not assholes, but I'm also not going to pay a hefty fine for somebody underage to be a part of something that they are not of age to be a part of. That's just the way it goes. We are very, all across the board, pretty open-minded company, but
Thanks, Dad.
Yeah, it's not going down. You know what I'm saying? It's just not going down. Obviously, Pablo, you don't have that problem. We could have it in California, you'd still be here. But how do you think? I mean, we have our own opinions. How do you think this is going to affect comps, people competing, people being a part of competitions in California?
I don't think there's going to be any more comps.
That could
To be
very well
honest
be
with
true.
you.
That could very well be true.
I mean, most of the trickers are so like 18, 20.
So 18 to
That's
20
true.
is the biggest demographic of trickers. I know at least off the top of my head, 10 juice companies that have teams, and everyone on their team is 18 to 20. And they are all no longer a part of this.
No.
So it's pretty big numbers.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It's pretty big numbers. It's when you really think about it, the numbers are huge. And it's not just California has their own age. Utah is 19. Hawaii's 21.
It's in New Jersey 19 as well.
19 on the east. Yeah.
I think Maryland's also 21.
Maryland. Yeah, Maryland.
Maryland's
just passed.
21?
Yeah.
Okay. And not the
The dominoes are starting to fall now that California pulled
exactly
their act.
exactly. And I think it's only a matter of time before things escalate and they get a little bit worse, a little bit guidelines. But I stay positive, and I stay positive not only for our company, for everybody else's company, and everybody who's in this fight and being a part of. With that being said, if you're a company like we were just giving Switch Mods a hard time outside, if you're not an active member of Safada, or if you're not signed up with Safada, and you want to go on social media and rant and rave and bitch and complain and don't want to stand up and be a part of the one source that is helping this industry in this fight to stay alive, then you're a fool. And if you don't like me for saying that, then so be it. You know what I mean? I feel that if you're not standing behind and supporting the people who are on the forefront in the trenches fighting for us in this industry, then you're a fool. And if everybody has to fight your battle for you and you just sit back on your computer and rant and rave on Facebook, it's a waste of time.
But can I say something?
Please.
Yes.
Well, 18-year-olds are old enough to vote. They can write a letter. They'll hear your voice. Or read your voice. Or read your letter.
They're all reading in
You know
your
what I
voice.
mean? So
Were you
basically,
drinking before this show?
I was sniffing something over there in the corner. No, just kidding.
That's awesome.
No, just kidding.
She's just
Basically, just write a letter. 18-year-olds, 20-year-olds, you guys are old enough to
Are they old enough to
vote.
call? Are they old enough to call?
They're old enough to call.
Yeah.
Okay.
No one says. I mean, they want their votes.
And people
You know?
need to vote. If you guys
They need
are
to
18
vote.
years old and can vote,
feel
are
bad.
legally able to vote, you
I
need
feel
to do
bad
that.
for the kids that are 18 trying to quit smoking right now in California.
Yeah, definitely. There was actually a question like saying, what do you do if your kid smokes when he's 15 and you want to introduce him to vaping? Would it be what would you do sake of your child?
I
get him into vaping,
I was
or-
15 when I started smoking cigarettes.
I was 13.
When I owned the store, we had parents come in there with their kids who were underage, and asked us that very question. And ultimately, from a legal standpoint, we couldn't sell
couldn't
to
sell
their
it to them.
kids.
Yeah.
But
with that knowledge that they were going to their kids, you
I
cannot sell it to them.
certainly respect a parent's desire to help their children, and if they think that this technology can be effective in improving their life, then I think that they should have the right to make that decision. So, it's such a slippery slope, man. We're seeing such a decline in the uptake of youth smoking, but those numbers are often being clouded by the uptake in vaping, and I think they counteract each other, yet that's not the way they're presented.
It's not at all.
They're presented as a problem, not as a solution.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
with
people
those
are scared of what they don't know.
with those dumbass commercials that get played that say, kids are going to start smoking after they vape.
Right.
Give me a break.
Why?
This vaping community, people like, and I refer again to what my earlier statement saying, people when they view vaping and they're not part of this industry or lifestyle or culture, see cigalikes and giant obnoxious clouds.
Yeah.
They don't really see us. And
they don't see the community.
They do not see the community.
No.
And they see they see maybe a clip of a convention with people throwing a bunch of free bottles off of an RV with a, few hundred people below them. And they're like, this is ludicrous. This is bullshit. But the reality is, if you are a part of this lifestyle, part of this culture and this community, and really understood why we are here and what we are fighting for our own lives, it's way bigger than the cigalike you see hanging in the gas station.
Here's this is a big thing with me. With the cloud comps, like I've been of that crowd that's gone, the cloud comps, these guys, the tricksters, this, that. I actually think it plays a more important role in the community of vaping because, the community of vaping is almost like a support network. It is like a support network. It's often been compared to like a 12-step program where you have a bunch of former smokers that have used the same technology to crack their addiction to combustible cigarettes, and you share your experiences through your devices and the things that you do together. I'm not crazy about cloud comps, but I actually think that not having cloud comps hurts the greater good. It actually has a negative impact on not the industry so much, but in the community aspect of our industry, because it does play a vital role in having a connection with each other. And ultimately, in any 12-step program, you're leaning on another person who's had similar experiences in their life to stay off of whatever particular addiction you have.
For sure.
So as much as I join the crowd and I kind of chuckle about it and I laugh about it, I'm also entertained by it, but I see it for more of a community value in that it does have value within our industry because it promotes the community. It promotes that bonding and that fellowship, for sure. If you say. It promotes that fellowship between vapors who all use this technology to get off of smoking. So I think that taking that away actually is going to detract from the community and is ultimately going to end up, forcing people back to smoking.
I travel all the time, and I go to many airports, and I have never thought in my mind to walk up to another smoker and say, "Hey, what kind of cigarette you got?"
Exactly.
What is that, a Newport? What do you got, a Marlboro? It's never happened. I've never thought about that. But I know whenever we're vaping, I look over and I was like, "Yo," like they look at me like, "What's up?" Yeah, I see you. You know what I'm saying? Like that's instant bond. Instant bond. What device are you using? What tank is that? What bottle of juice do you have? Oh, I never tried that flavor. Maybe I'm going to go try it whenever I get home at my local vape shop. That's a bond.
Exactly.
That is you can never have in any other industry, any other lifestyle, any other culture. You can never have that kind of a bond from knowing no one.
Every person in this room has a good number of friends because of vaping. It's like, if that you would never have known. Yeah, actual friends. You would have never known this person or, whatever. Or you would have never been a part of a community or a greater good if it wasn't for vaping almost.
For sure.
And it's mind-boggling that there's actually somebody trying to take that away from people. You get me?
And we're continuing the fight to make sure that we can stay on the up and up.
And this is actually key to what we have facing us because I'll tell you what, tobacco did not have that when they were fighting the government and they were being sued by their own customers for dying from using their product. You don't have that aspect in this fight. What you actually have is a section of the community, of the population that actually supports this as a harm reduction tool. Tobacco didn't have that in their fight. Tobacco, they spent billions and billions and billions of dollars to assure that they were going to be able to continue to go, and that's all they had. They threw as much money at it as possible. We have the secret weapon, and that's us, people.
As a community.
We have a community that can actually fight this, and the community is fighting back. If it's not directly, it's indirectly. Royal College of Physicians and health organizations that can make the distinction between smoking and vaping that are starting to put out the types of articles that are supportive of us, coupled with the passion and the drive of the community, I think ultimately we're going to end on not necessarily clear of this, but on the right side of it, and that we're going to be able to continue to pursue a life smoke-free, and be able to continue to grow our community and hopefully grow the industry.
And, stay healthy and play with our kids and watch them grow and do things that we've never been able to do before because we're not tied down to a ball and chain combustible product. And that's what we need to continue to do. And actually, we've gone a little bit over our time, But
sorry.
Yeah, it happens. It happens, especially when you got Doug Hughes in the room. That shit goes over.
Thank you, Doug.
Motor mouth.
It goes over. But I wanted to take a second and thank all of you, Matt. Doug, I respect your word, man. I respect your knowledge.
I respect your beard.
I thank you for that. I thank you for that.
Everyone
I have to get that in every week. Respect for the beard.
But you know what? I definitely respect what you're doing for us and everything that you're a part of. I only go to Doug for the right information, and I always pass information through Doug to know if it's verifiable and know if it's something that we should be posting or even talking about. And I want to remind everybody one last time before we go out, SFATA, your donations, where you can go. What can they do to donate to SFATA real quick so we can get some more money into the bank so we can keep fighting?
We need businesses to start signing up with SFATA. Today we surpassed 1,000 members nationwide. That's a huge deal. We are the largest trade association in the vapor industry in the world, to my knowledge. As a whole, we have over 1,000 members. We have a great leadership team here in Southern California. Pam is one of our new co-presidents for Southern California.
Thank you.
I've taken on a role of legislative coordinator, and Josh is head of California. We're developing an infrastructure. So if you want to make donations, if you want to be a part of our team, if you want to be a part of this fight, you can go to safata.org and sign up. It's a very easy process. You just click a few buttons and you're in. And you can pay by month. You can pay in bulk. You can also
get in.
And if you want to make contributions specific to Southern California, because California businesses, we have our own fights going on right now, you can contact either myself or Pam, Pam Cube, Laura McCollum, who's our other co-president, or you can go to the SoCal SFATA Facebook page, leave us a message. Leave us a message.
They read them.
We'll get back to you, and we'll make it happen.
Definitely.
For as much as juice makers make that I know of,
Please.
we should have
They need to
way
donate.
more money.
You need to
than we have
donate.
now.
You need to donate. Listen,
Way more money.
and even if you're on the you're not here, still donate. Still give to the fight, because listen, it's California, it's New York, the biggest eyeballs on them, but all the states in between are all going to be affected.
Look, CASA, AVA, not blowing smoke. I mean, if you're a consumer, absolutely find a organization that's going to represent you, that you think you can stand behind, and stand behind them and become a part of the fight. It's only the community that is going to get us anywhere in this fight.
I agree, 100%. Doug Hughes, thank you very much.
Thank you, Andre.
Auntie Pam, we love you.
We love you too.
Thank you very much for coming. Jude, Andrew boned out. He was out there, you know what I mean? But we did want to say, we did bring another guest who was a part of Switch Mods. He's in the lobby right now. I think being a little too close to New Age Cleopatra.
It happens.
He wasn't able to truly function.
Flush.
A little properly. He turned as red as her hair. So we left him out there. But we definitely love him. We're glad that he came to be a part of.
Yeah, we're really happy.
Pablo, I appreciate you driving the 2 hours in traffic.
Thank you for having me.
And coming out just to chill out and hang out and give your opinion.
A lot of fun.
Thank you very much. Jude, we appreciate Switch Mod, man. Thank you guys for coming out here.
Thank you for
guys
having me.
also spent a shitload of time in traffic to come and hang out.
Yeah.
They're like winning every comp mod. Every comp they're winning.
They are.
We're
Switch
doing
Mods
okay.
is definitely on the up, man. And we just appreciate you guys being a part of being friends of Vape Capital.
Thank you.
On behalf of Vape Capital Distro, all the employees we have here, Q, New Age Cleopatra, my name is Andre. We are signing off. We'll be back next Tuesday, 7 p.m., like we always are. More guests, more advocacy, more answers to the questions everybody has. And if you guys have questions that you want to be answered on the show, by all means, DM us on Vape Capital Instagram. We'll tally it all up. We'll write down some questions so we have them for the panel, the guests, and everybody who comes through. So on behalf of Vape Capital, thank you guys for watching. We'll be back next week.